These are the remains of the old Hanover branch line. As you can see, the track hasn't been used for a long, long time. Videographer Bill Davis and I set out to explore the line from Abington through Rockland to Hanover, Massachusetts.
Come join us on our adventure.
All aboard the rail trail.
Took a walk, looked around at the beauty that I found on the rail trail.
The old Colony Line and the North Abington Depot are just beyond this wooded area. These are the rails to the old Hanover branch line. And when I say old, I mean this was being developed during Abraham Lincoln's presidency.
There's a lot of history in these woods, dating back to a man named Perry who wanted to connect his box factory to the main train line. That was in 1860. Today, it's a great day for a hike.
We're here at the power lines, about a quarter of a mile into the hike. French's Stream is the border of Abington and Rockland, and right over here to the right is Griffin's Dairy. This is where the rails end because Rockland is having them taken out.
And all the tracks are long gone.
Donald Cann is the chairman of the Rockland Open Space Committee, and you could say he's pretty enthusiastic about turning this old train track into a rail trail.
The person who walks the trail pushes their baby carriage along the trail, takes a bike along the trail, will go through some areas in Rockland that they would never dream. Some beautiful woodlands, over some streams, next to a golf course. Just a walk of pleasure.
If you keep your eyes peeled, and you're lucky, you never know what you might see on this walk through nature.
Hawk, see the hawk?
Donald Cann sees many benefits, including some connections.
The connecting of our trail system to our neighbor's trail system makes really for a regional concept of open space and trails, which I think gets benefit everybody in the region.
As Bill Davis and I continue our hike, we learn that there are some pretty ingenious ways to get the trail built without the need for money.
Well, we're in Hanover now, and as you can see, the rails and the railroad ties are still in place. We've gone about 3 3/4 miles, and just a little ways back, we ran into the Iron Horse Preservation Society.
People will be able to walk down the trail, ride their bikes, take the baby stroller, walk downtown.
And none of this could have been possible without the cooperation and the work of Rockland's town government.
Iron Horse Preservation Society actually comes into town, removes the rails, removes the ties. They use a magnet to clean up any of the residue metals and couplings, etc., spikes. They go through and they try and take everything out. I'm sure that they're selling the scrap metal and making a profit as a company. I understand that. But when they remove all of that, they then come back and they use a compacted surface that they will give us about a 10 or 12 foot wide swath along this whole rail trail from the Abington border to the Hanover border. Eventually the whole project will tie in together.
Town Administrator Alan Chaka sees this as an improvement to the quality of life here in Rockland. An alternative stroll to get the morning paper or coffee. Students can walk to school avoiding the streets. Chaka sees it as added value and safety for those living near the trail.
It's just a complete win for the town. And again, in these times of everyone's always watching a buck, it's not costing the town any money.
I know a lot of people I see down here, and they like to stand here like this and watch the water goes by. It makes a nice sound.
Known as the father of Rockland's town forest, George Anderson loves the idea of connecting this conservation land to the rail trail.
I just like it all. I mean, it's a fascinating place, and as you walk through it, you'll see.
A labor of love and many years in the making, the Rockland Town Forest is like stepping into a fantasy world where the best of nature and humans come together.
Hopefully this will all be interconnected between the Open Space Committee's rail trail, the town forest, proposed work on the old Naval Air Station. Make this whole thing come together in such a way that people have a trail that they can actually walk for probably somewhere estimated maybe 8 to 9, 10 miles.
For George Anderson, a connection to the rail trail from the town forest is more than a hike. It's the protection and conservation of our resources, a place to get away, to slow down, and to appreciate what nature has to offer.
So you see the trails as a way to connect people to the environment?
I see it connecting the environment. I see it connecting communities, people in general. It's a neat thing to have. People like new things. They always want to see new places.
Somewhere in the future there'll be loops and loops of rail trails that allow people, like the Cape Cod Rail Trail, you can ride your bike from one end of the Cape to the other. Eventually, maybe this will all tie into other projects and other trails, or, you know, a missing link here or there.
It's going to add a very pleasant walk in the woods. Not only that, it's going to connect us with neighbor towns, that is Abington and Hanover. And from there, hopefully it will connect us all the way to the sea on one end and who knows where on the other end.
As Bill Davis and I wind down our little adventure, it's exciting to wonder what's around the next bend in the trail, like this pre-dawn encounter.
We're just beyond the intersection of Hanover Street and Circuit Streets. We've gone approximately 5 miles, and we're at the end of the rail trail, which becomes a path into the woods here. If you use your imagination and a little bit of reality like we saw in Rockland, some people envision this emerald necklace to become a walk to the sea. I'd like to thank Billy Davis for helping us with this video. I'm Dan Broman for E-Awakening.
All aboard the rail trail.
Took a walk, looked around at the beauty that I found on the rail trail. The Rockland Rail Trail. I'm slowing down and taking a look around.